keeps that team together. Yeah, I get it. The whole thing with the technicals and him getting out of control. But when he's playing under control, when he's getting rebounds, when he's playing the defense, when he is the player that he was, say, last year, or during their championship seasons, he's one of the best players on their team. Clearly, Durant, obviously, and Curry are the best player, but he's that guy that does it all. He'll score if they need him to, but he's going to get assists, he's going to get rebounds, and he's going to play defense. That's his game. I don't see how you can be overrated when you're doing those things, which are big things that can make a big difference in the outcome of a game. Because think about all the extra possessions that you get from steals, and think about all the fast breaks that you get from playing defense and stepping up and stuff like that. So, in my opinion, I don't think he's overrated at all. I don't think he's a superstar. I don't think he's the same caliber player as some of the other players on that team. But I think he's very, very, very important to that team and how far they're going to go.
Some of the people that made that list, too, were Karl Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins. I don't know how the hell he'd be overrated. That gets him. I need an Andrew Wiggins podcast. You had LeBron James on there. Of course, James Harden. And Kyle Lowry was on there. For underrated, number one was Jrue Holiday, which I kind of agree with. Damian Lillard, for sure.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, we just talked about it. That's a guy
how
you could make an argument for him as potential MVP. Well, I think with Damian Lillard, without me getting on my Dame Dollar soapbox, living in Portland, the West Coast the East Coast bias, the games start at 10:45 at night. Like, how many start-to-finish games have you really watched of Damian Lillard? Yeah, you watch the highlights and read the stats, but how many games have you watched? I'm asking you yourself.
No, I hear you.
NBA fans in general. Like, I've watched a ton. I remember that guy picked for Weber State. That's how long I've been riding for Damian Lillard. So you had him there, and then Mike Conley Jr., who I think, actually, believe it or not, in my opinion, is kind of overrated. I think that's just my fandom as a basketball fan. I think because Mike Conley is a blue-collar, not too flashy, just does his job thing, he doesn't catch my eye personally, so I don't see him as a superstar. But maybe that's just me.
I just don't see how anybody could think Damian Lillard is underrated. I mean, the guy could be an all-star every year. The only reason he's not is because of how tough that position is.
Klay Thompson should be on there as underrated, but anyway, continue.
Right, but have you ever, and I don't care if which coast you live on, you still see all the highlights. You still see him score 40 points. You still see him shooting from the logo in the stinking All-Star game. You know what I mean? Yeah. You still see the game-winning shots that he was hitting in the playoffs. I mean, I can't remember, it was years ago. I think it was against the Rockets, as a matter of fact.
He won the series.
Yeah, won the series on an unbelievable shot. I mean, the guy is a superstar. He will be, if he keeps up what he's doing, he'll be a Hall of Famer. I mean, I just don't understand how somebody could really honestly tell me that he is underrated. I don't think so at all. I think he's an awesome player. I think he's a great player. I think you're right. Playing in Portland does kind of factor into it a little bit, but I don't even care. I don't care where you could play in Sacramento, you could play in Portland. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Oklahoma City. I mean, you still talk about the players that play in Oklahoma City. It's not quite maybe as far away, but it's still not one of them big market teams. Like, well, I guess it's getting bigger now, but it's not a big market team as, say, like the Lakers or the Knicks or the
Celtics.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think with Damian Lillard also too, you kind of mentioned, is all the people in the Western Conference that are over top of him as far as names. The Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Harden, all those people from the Western Conference, and you're like, oh yeah, Damian Lillard. But he's so good, if you really watch his game, you'll see, in your opinion, as a fan, he's going to start going up your list. And he's going to go from top 10 to your top 5 to maybe even your top 3, because the kid is that good. And we're not even talking about off the court, how humble the guy is, how much he does in the community. He's just a great person overall, man. But that's just something I wanted to mention. I saw that overrated, underrated list, and I definitely wanted to make sure we talked about it. What else do you got as far as tidbits and stuff we might have missed on?
A couple different things. One thing, we were talking about the Lakers, and it had come out the other day that they didn't fire the coach. The GM obviously stepped down. But they did fire the head athletic trainer, Marco Nunez. I guess there was too many injuries this year, and somebody had to take the fall for it. And him being the head,
that LeBron groin, man, he got done out by the groin. Yeah.
Yep. Just a couple of tidbits that I had. Of course, I saw this stat and I thought it was crazy. They're talking about James Harden in his 3 seasons with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He scored 2,795 points, all 3 seasons combined. This year, he has scored 2,818 points. So in this year alone, he outscored himself all 3 combined years in Oklahoma City. Now, granted, and he wasn't playing wasn't playing like small minutes either. He was playing a lot of minutes. He just wasn't the player that he is now. But still, it's crazy to see something like that. I saw another cool stat too, and it kind of goes with the James Harden thing, but really it goes to show, the dominant player that Michael Jordan was. And the stat that I saw was in 1987, Jordan averaged 37.1 points, right? Harden's averaging 36.1, so he's making his way there. In 2019, this season, he's averaging 36.1 points. He made 378 three-pointers. In 1987, when Jordan scored 37.1 points per game, he made 12 three-pointers.
Wow. That's mid-range game. That's taking
That's
to
right.
the bucket,
That's just
yamming
showing
on
you
people.
how dominant that man was. I mean, yeah, he made some three-pointers, but wow, like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
12 is a quarter for Steph Curry.
Right.
That's the first quarter.
Now,
12 is nothing.
And we have to talk about it because it's just crazy, and I'm a D Wade guy. What the heck is Paul Pierce out here trying to? Did you see the clip of it? Did you see? Was it Jalen Rose? When Jalen Rose was like
Michelle Beadle,
right? Yeah. Jalen Rose was like, so hold on. He literally goes, hold on. Let me just do this. And it's funny because he must have just had it like pulled up in his phone or something. He was
he pulled up his phone right then and there.
Right, he pulled it up in his phone. No, I understand. Nope, he did exactly what I'm doing right here. He pulled it right up in his phone, and I have it. It's going to come up here in about 10 seconds. Where'd you go?
So what are you saying? Paul Pierce is not better than Dwayne Wade, in your opinion?
Well, I think it's a positional thing. You're talking about a positional thing. Dwayne Wade, top 3 shooting guard ever. You got Jordan, you got Kobe, you got Dwayne Wade. I don't think that you could. I mean, there may be somebody else that you might be able to kind of put somewhere in that category, but I still don't think that Dwayne Wade would be below any of them based on what he did, based on how he put that team on his back in the playoffs. Based on what he did when he was there with LeBron and Bosh. He means everything to that city.
Forget that when Shaq won that title, he won it because of Dwayne Wade. Without Dwayne Wade and that Miami Heat team, I don't know if they make the finals, but they're not winning the finals.
Well, and that was something that Paul Pierce said too. He would win championships if he had Shaq on his team as well, or Shaq and LeBron on his team as well.
Don't get me wrong.
I agree.
Paul Pierce, one of the best players of all time. But if we're talking about positions, a small forward, Larry Bird, greatest small forward of all time, in my opinion. You can also go with Scottie Pippen, better than Paul Pierce. Small forwards. We can go James Worthy. We can go John Havlicek.
Dominique Wilkins, you said earlier.
The human highlight film. We have a lot of small forwards, I think, that are better than Paul Pierce. Sounds like a bitter old man to me.
So I'm gonna be Jalen Rose right now, and I'm just gonna look. And the funny thing is, when you look at Paul Pierce, and like Paul Pierce is like, is he really like I just said it? I mean, and I don't know. Look, Paul Pierce. Awesome basketball player, still Hall of Famer by far. But, sometimes people say stuff just to get reactions, and I don't think that he realized the reaction that he was going to get from Jalen Rose.
Wayne County came out in full force, baby.
So, of course, Jalen Rose. This is my Jalen Rose. Okay, so Paul Pierce, right? 10 All-Stars. 4-time All-NBA team. No All-Defensive player. 1 ring. Dwayne Wade. 13-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA, 3-time All-Defense, 3 rings. I mean, come on. Like seriously, it's funny because I saw a stat, and I'm not sure if it's true, but I did see the stat, and it said that if Dwayne Wade came back for one more season, and played 82 games and didn't score a single point, he would still have a higher career average per game than Paul Pierce.
That doesn't say it for you. I know it does.
I mean, the guy was just dominant for years. I mean, people talk about the Flash. People talk about D Wade. Like he was, one of those guys in the NBA that just kind of was like he just took over.
He took that Miami Heat franchise from a franchise that was there's a team in Miami to must see TV.
Yep.
And people think the Miami Heat became a squad when LeBron got there. Bull. Dwayne Wade is what put that team on the map and made them one of the more recognizable franchises in the NBA for sure. I'm glad you brought that up there. I knew there was no way Pat was going to let somebody diss his boy and not come back with guns blazing and bullets loaded in the chamber.
You saw what his son came on Twitter too and was like, "What's this guy talking about?" Like, huh?
You got to have dad's back.
Right, sure. Exactly. It's funny because, Twitter is something where it gives everybody a glimpse of stuff that they might not see. And another thing on Twitter, kind of wanted to mention it because, we were talking about it before and we kind of skipped over it. But what's going on with Anthony Davis? What is does he not dress himself now? Is that what I heard? Is that what I heard?
His clothes are picked out for him and they're hung up and laid out, and whatever's laid out by his stylist is what he wears. So it was not his choice to wear "That's All Folks" t-shirt yesterday. He had no say in the matter. Leave him alone. Don't pick on the guy.
Another one I just saw, and I just saw it, and I totally forgot about it until you brought that up before we did the show. You brought up the whole thing about the T-shirt. Is I saw one, and it was Klay Thompson. I'm not sure if you saw this or not, but it was Klay Thompson, and it said he was basically saying man, it's really been fun in this arena. I appreciate all the fans.
They shut down Oracle Arena. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, everybody's like, what is he saying? Is he saying he's gone? Is he saying he's this is going to be, he's not going to be with the Golden State Warriors next year? What is he doing? I saw everybody read that, and that's what their reaction was.
Yeah, I think he's not going anywhere. That guy's staying with Golden State. He's not going anywhere at all. He's and that's another one of those guys who I think super underrated because he could go somewhere else and average Harden type points and be the alpha. But instead, he'll just collect rings. And when the Golden State Warriors needing to bail him out, I'll never forget that 3-1 lead that Oklahoma City had, and then they had that game where Klay Thompson hit 12 3-pointers, 8 1/4. That's the Klay
Ridiculous.
Thompson. He could do that all the time if he wanted to. He just chooses to play his role, get rings, stack checks, travel the world, and do his thing, man. Well, that is our playoff push edition. Our awards have been given out. We are super excited for Saturday to start. We'll be back again next week, obviously talking about the playoff series. The first couple of games would have already taken place, so we'll have our reactions on that as well. Make sure you guys are following us on Twitter at Buckets and Dimes. You can find us on all the major platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn. Just search Buckets and Dimes. And, of course, you can go to the website, nutsandboltsports.com. We have a podcast section, and you can find the show there as well. As always, I am Joe Cardoza. He's the ultimate Dwayne Wade fan, Patrick Hillwig. Until next week, guys, peace.